Alright, we're back. I'm going to grab some lower collars here. These are manly. Okay, these are, if I need more clearance, these will give it to me. So these colors here look like this set, except one major difference. The height from the inside edge here to the outside edge here is a lot taller on this one by 50 thou. That's why it gives you 50 thou more travel. Because when this one here, this side here is lower, that changes where the spring is, it drops the spring down over the guide further. That's what gives you more travel. So that's one way of cheating and get more travel. And it'd still be on top of the guide. When you go this route here, you drop a lot. Probably a couple hundred thousand. So we don't want that. Alright, so I got this one here. This is a stock one. Okay, well, we got to figure out our cam lift. That's where we're going to left off at. Calculator. Okay, so to figure out the cam lift, we take our handy dandy caliper. Stock P-cam. Measure it like this. Find a number. Zero it. Caliper's now zeroed. Now we go, how much is it open? It opens that much. That's called cam lift. It's 255 thousandths and a half. Try a different spot. 256. 255. 256. We'll call it 256. See, 256. Go back down here, it should be zero. And we're 1 thou up there from wherever it was before. Yeah, looks like we're off by 1 thou. Yep, there's a half there for a second. Okay, so if we re-zero that, zero. Now we're 255 again. 254 and a half, let's call that 255. Okay, so we got 255 lobe lift. Okay, let's go check another one. Let's see, what number we use on this one. This one here was number 1, that's an exhaust, rear exhaust. This one here is a number 2, this is a rear intake. Okay, we're 0 again. Whoa, wow, that's surprising. I was not expecting to be a difference in lobe lift between the two cams. This one's 273. I did not know that. 273, huh? Damn. Let's see if that repeats. Okay, now this one here, the base circle is a lot smaller. Let's go check this one. This is the front intake. Okay, there's 1 thou, half a thou, 1 thou. Make up your mind. Which one do you want to be? Okay, 2 thou. Okay, check it. 0. Spin it. 273. So the intakes have more lift than exhaust. This is an exhaust. Okay, this one's 10 thou undersize. Still 10 thou under. Okay. Rotate up. 255. So, we got 2 different cam lifts on an Ironhead Sportster. Didn't know that. Of course, I never checked stock cams, so there you go. Always figured around 390 lift, 400 max, so I just use 400. Okay, so we do is you take our handy dandy calculator, because math is important around here. So we have a 255 cam lobe, 0.255. Now the valve actually sees rocker arm lift. Rocker arm is a ratio, so you multiply it by the rocker ratio. On a Sportster, it's 1.42, I think. 362. Pretty low. 0.255 times 1.43 is the other ratio. There's 142, 142 and a half, 143. I forget which one it is. Shovel head and iron head are slightly different, but very close. Okay, we be at 365. We go with a higher number. Either way, we're way under 400. See. Okay, the intake was 272 lobe. 0.272. I think that was the number. Maybe 73. Doesn't matter. We'll go to 1.43. Now we go with the high rocker and low lift. How's that? 390. See, that's why it was 390, 400. Yeah, it's 390. That's the intake. Okay, so the exhaust is lower. Now we know we don't need as much room in the exhaust. Oh, don't get rid of that. We still need this. Okay, now we got to figure out our install height. So our coil bind clearance on the average of all of them was 775. Let's call it 775. We're actually, I'll use 770. 0.770 is our coil bind, hard coil bind, plus 50 thou clearance, 0.05. That's so the spring has room to breathe. They don't like being crushed. Then you add in the cam lift, plus cam lift is 390, 0.39, equals 1.21 is our install height, minimum on the intake. The exhaust can be less than that. Okay, so we got 1.210. That's pretty damn low. 1.210. Okay, so now we take our collar, take a spring, checking spring, not the valve spring. And you can also just use the inner spring if you want to. It's easier, or just an outer, whatever you want to do to be a little bit less tension. It's up to you. And we take the outer collar. We stick it on to the motor here. Boom, boom, boom. Take our collar. Press it. A lot of tension on that spring. Put the keepers in there. Rotate everything so it self-centers. Got a lot of tension on that. Okay, now we have a spring that's installed. Looks like that. So now we're going to check this for our install height, which is this little handy dandy tool right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there like this. I'm going to check it. We need 210 minimum. Okay, we are up here at 315 or so, 320. Where I can see it. Yeah, it looks about 315 to me. Now this one here, I think I can measure with a caliper. .308. My eyes are getting bad. All right. I think those numbers are off. Where's my calculator at? Something is not correct here. I don't know what it is. 0.770 plus 0.05 plus 0.39. Same number. So what was wrong? The coil bind was wrong? Something's not right. Not enough lift, or not enough coil bind. That's extremely low number. I've never seen one that low. 200 is way down there. So right now you got 200 thousandths of extra clearance. Easier to do what you can get to get extra 50. So the coil bind is pretty bad, or not the coil, but the install height is really, really low. I'll go back and measure the spring real quick. So I don't know what the difference is here, but there's something different. I figured it should be in the low 3s, not the low 2s. So where's the 100 thou air at? 270, so that's the same. That's not different. So it's 210. Pretty low. That doesn't sound right. Double check. Okay, so we had what, 308, wasn't it? Oh, I think of 400. What the hell was I thinking? Okay, 308. Yeah, it still takes more than that to me. The scale has a slight bend when you measure it, so cause an error. Okay, so we got 310 for the 100th thou variable difference in there. And that's on the intake. The exhaust doesn't even need that much. Okay, so now we got two options. We can either leave it or we can pack it in there. Now, if you pack it in there, you put more tension on the springs. Now these are heavy duty springs already. He's running stock cams. He's just going to make a putter out of it. So I'm going to leave it alone. Now if I wanted to pack the springs in there, I can put up to 100 thou spacing underneath the spring right now, the collar on that one, which is a lot. So it's a variable that we can work out later if we wanted to. So valve shims are over here in the drawer. Not that one. This one. Over here. Okay, so these are 60 thou thick sportster valve shims. Closed it. I use my feet a lot. Like a hammer. They come in handy. Okay, so this is 60 thou thick. This is on top of the valve guide. Right here. Like that, and that moves up everything up 60. So I could put that in there and it would have plenty of room for it. I could actually run 100. I have some 30 thou shims of these too, so I can put two of them together. But I don't really want to do that. Okay. We definitely don't need more clearance, so we don't need these manly ones. That's out. So if you put that in there, it just sits in there like that. Raises it up to where it sits. Okay. So like I said, I think I'm going to just let it be low. And that'll drop the spring tension down because these are 90 pounds on the seat, should be. Versus the stock springs are probably anywhere from 30 pounds on the good side to maybe 40 on the seat. So these ones are going to be 90 wide open. No, 90 on the seat. These are going to be 90 on the seat. So there's a big difference in there. So I can unpack these things 100 thou and it won't hurt it any. So we'll still have a lot more tension in the stock. So I'm going to leave it at that. Now, I don't know if this was the good one or the bad one, so there's one valve that was lower than all the other ones. That might be this one here, and this looks like, no, this looks like the one that was the regular. Yeah, this is the one here that was deeper. So this one here, I'm going to put a shim under it because it was pretty deep. It was an extra 50 thou, I think, down, or 20 thou, something like that. We'll be checking that in a minute. Okay, so right now we're on 310 clearance, 308 according to that. So I'm going to roll ahead and run with that number. So this is the rear intake, so that goes right there. I checked it with these two colors, so I'm going to put them right here. And I used a couple keepers that got mixed up, so I'll put a couple keepers over there. I like matching. If I do all this work, I like keeping everything where it belongs. Now, when they put this collar in there and mocked it up with all of that stuff, there had to be a hell of a lot more clearance in this motor. So let's go find out what that was going to be. I'm going to go ahead and put his collar in here, all the way to the bottom. And go back to the stock upper. The spring kind of hits on it. I bet you we gain over 100 thou more. definitely deeper. We didn't gain the 100. I'm going to gain about 80. I don't know if I can measure with this. It's too far. Maybe. 85. Yep, 22 thou. There you go. So that's the difference between running the coils all the way down. See, the racers do that to get more clearance, but street bikes, we don't like doing that junk. So it definitely is not needed to do, and I'm not going to use them. So those go in the junk pile. Okay, that one's done. So now we're going to do the exhaust and check it. Okay, we're going to grab another lower one here. Spring. I'm going to use the more silver collars keepers here. Another upper. This spring's way stiffer than it needs to be for checking. Almost run the bike with that. Okay, let's see what we got on this one. Whoa, that's a big drop. Okay, so what happened here? This is a genuine collar Harley. These are genuine Harley keepers I just put in there. So we're about 255. Oh, dump all the cans out. $250. My scale is consistently 5 thou off. You notice that? So it's not my bad eyes. It's the scale's obviously flexing slightly when I'm measuring it and on a slight angle. Because see, I'm coming in an angle here this way. It's not straight. It's coming at an angle because I got to stick to one side against the edge in there. Makes it 5 thou longer. So that means my eyeballs are working within 0 right now, within 1 thou. Yeah. Maybe they're not quite as bad as I thought they were. Okay, so this is way different than the other one. So like I said, we got a big difference in there. And something else is going on here. We got a lot of flex right here. That makes a difference when the collar's going flexible right there like that. Not being held tight in that one spot. Looks like there's a piece of dirt or something on there, I don't know. Something under there would make a difference. The spring is stiff. Okay, that keeper does not want to come out. Oh, damn, that thing is sharp. That was not a happy keeper. And I'm not happy with this long ass spring. So we're going to get rid of this spring. We're going to go get a spring department, get another one. Something a lot lighter. I'm working way too hard. Go with this spring. Too much work. I don't like working that hard. Okay, so these keepers here are not happy with that valve for some reason. So that one there care. That one don't care. That one don't care. This is one that's tight. This one do care. This one don't want to go in the hole. See, it doesn't go in. Gives you a false number. See, it's not in there square. Keeper no good. I'll get a different one. Okay, that keeper don't. That one's a good one. Okay, it's going to be a spring swap and a keeper swap. Okay, lower collar, springy dingy. See, I'm going to wobble around like the last one did, see? Nice and firm like it's supposed to be. Tension's a little bit less too. Okay, now let's see what we got. Much better. Okay, we're up there about 275 it looks like. Grab our handy dandy caliper. 278. See, I was overcompensating. See, if I know there's an error, I can cheat my numbers. I don't like doing that though. Looks more like 285 to me in real world, but that's my 5 error I'm getting. Okay, so that one is what do we had 8, we had 10 on the other one. This is 85, so it's 25 thou difference on the exhaust. It's a little tighter, but the cam has less lift, so in the real world the spring has about equal tension because they start and end at different points. But the seat pressure is higher. The open pressure is about equal, but the seat pressure is higher on the exhaust right now. And if you're going to have one that's higher, it doesn't hurt to be the exhaust. Okay, so if you want to equalize it, we can throw a little 15 thou shim on the intake to equalize things, if you want to. I don't really have a problem with doing that. Okay, so that's the rear one. Front one. Okay, maybe another keeper. I'll be right back.